It's Madden NFL 24 as we get set for a Super Bowl 56 rematch. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals under the lights on Monday night.
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead, a rematch of Super Bowl 56, and it should be a good one, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. But, Charles, a lot of people see these Bengals as legitimate contenders to get to the Super Bowl. And remember, they got there just 2 years ago. What do they need to do to get back?
Well, we know how well-positioned they are on offense, partner, because they have one of the best quarterbacks in the game and a lot of firepower to go with him. But how about what they did in the draft this year? A lot of capital expended on the defensive side of the ball, trying to slow down some of the other top contenders.
Then for the visiting Rams, they found out the hard way that you need a lot of good fortune when you win a Super Bowl title. And when you don't get that good fortune, as they didn't last year, things can crash down to earth in a hurry.
And none of us really saw this coming. Remember, they were 12-5 the year they won the Super Bowl, went 5-12 last year. Somehow I think this Rams team is better than what we saw last season, adding in a lot of new pieces in order to try and get back to the top of the NFC West.
We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So here are the Rams set to go to work on offense, and they're led by a man who topped the 50,000-yard mark in passing for his career a season ago. In year 15 now, here's Matthew Stafford.
Stafford, the Rams won it all in Super Bowl 56, but last season was a stark contrast to that. The Rams need their quarterback to recapture his form from 2 seasons ago to help spark another postseason run.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Now that'll be caught by Cup. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. From the 21, here's second down and 8. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So after the penalty, here's second and 3. Stafford going to give this to Akers. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Big article in the paper this morning talking about how they wanted to get chunk plays in the run game. Well, early on, there's a good one.
There is, and for guys on defense, they've got to remember the old adage. You've got to meet force with force, and if you don't, you get run over, as they did on that last play.
On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 44-yard line, here's a second and 7. Now it's Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
It's showtime, baby.
And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. Well, they started the drive backed up pretty deep, but a nice effort to overcome the field position, get into field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And, Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Bengals now set for their first possession, and it's Pro Bowler Joe Burrow who leads this offense in his 4th season now out of LSU.
Burrow may be young in his career, but he's helming the Bengals to one of the best stretches they've ever seen. 12 wins last year, which matched the team record, and they made the conference championship game in back-to-back seasons for the first time ever. At the center of it all is the man they call Joey B. 35 touchdown passes last year and almost 4,500 yards.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Now he's forced out left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On 3rd down, Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves to Stix.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
So, Charles, this defense in for a tough matchup. What do you think the game plan is here tonight?
Well, I think the game plan is the same as most, which is, hey, pass rushers, do your job. Coverage guys, do your job. And the linebackers are going to be a mix. Sometimes they'll drop in coverage. Sometimes they'll pressure the quarterback. But all in all, you never want to let that quarterback get a string of completions going, because if so, they're hard to deal with, and it makes for a long evening. They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing again, it's Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now it's Burrow.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good.
And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like
and
that.
A really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away.
From the end zone, Jason Taylor, the second, will return it. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Stafford on first down.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. It's complete to Robinson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 50, Stafford. Open man right side is Cup, complete. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now it's 3rd and 4. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Stafford. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And now off to the races, down the right side. Down to the 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6, and I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. Motion left, Cup. He's going to get it on the jet sweep.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
A give up the middle to Akers.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
A nice carry by Akers, and what a journey it was for him last season. Coming off of injury, away from the team for a while, He did come back later in the season and led them with almost 800 yards. Still scratching the surface of what he can do. He can be a dynamic presence on the field.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Not a bad year by Hubbard. 6.5 sacks for the Bengals. And he made the longest fumble return in playoff history in a win against division rival Baltimore.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. Well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. He'll get this down to the 38.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. To throw is Stafford. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, this is a half for not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. They'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. The loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to throw, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Mike Hilton, always dangerous on the corner blitz, and he gets the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep, Trent Taylor. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. First down. Here's Burrow. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now it's Burrow. Short throw to Smith. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Burrow looking to pass. Now they go screen. It's complete. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now a 3-time 1,000-yard rusher, Joe Mixon. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's got a Bengals first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes, you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw complete there to Smith. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Irv Smith Jr. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taylor now from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. Man open is Robinson. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire 4th remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
from the 41. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Stafford looks to throw again.
And quickly into the hands of Robinson.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. And that is incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll run for it with Akers. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Sean McVay's gamble does not pay off, and the Bengals will get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. For a 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
A solid pickup there by Mixon, and when he's running it this way, the Cincinnati offense takes on an extra dimension. They love to run the football and shut people down with Mixon carrying the load.
Now Burrow on 1st down. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Mixing up the middle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Ernest Jones coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Stafford now to throw. Connecting with Kupp here on the out route. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
Henderson dropped down to 8 sacks last season, but don't get lost in that number. Still had 3 forced fumbles and remains a game wrecker on the edge of Cincinnati's line.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running left, it's Mixon to the 27-yard line.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And Boyd going to pick up a Bengals first down as he'll be brought down just outside the red zone, marking with the 21. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Burrow going to get this into the hands of Mixon, his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, here's Burrow. Looking middle, and that's complete. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
Mixon will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
McPherson on for the point after.
And the lead is now 24. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And the Rams getting set to go now.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Cup. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's Stafford.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Here's second and a yard. Again, it's Stafford. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. To throw is Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you've got a heck of a chance to win.
Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the drive will indeed continue. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Throwing again is Stafford. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, what looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing till the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. One last shot at the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard.
Come on, let's go. Let's dominate this. Get in the end zone, fella.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to